few centuries on, Germany got dead into the tennis too, but wanted to make a few modifications to the ball to make it a bit more effective. Around this time, an American chemist had just created something called vulcanized rubber. Out of that, people started developing air-filled rubber balls, which were properly bouncy, but either red or grey in colour. These were manufactured in Melton Mowbray. That's right, the home of the pork pie. One problem, the balls kept on breaking on impact with the racket. The call of new balls please seemingly coming over every other point. Step forward English lawyer and tennis enthusiast John Moyer Heathcote, who suggested balls be covered in flannel to stop them from degrading. And thus the modern-day tennis ball was born. But these were white or black, so how did they become yellow? Well, in 1967, the controller of BBC Two, one Sir David Attenborough, decided the corporation should show Wimbledon on colour TV. He got his wish and it was wide into people's homes across the country. The only sticking point, the white balls were nearly impossible to see on the screen. So the International Tennis Federation, sensing an opportunity, started developing a new ball that would be visible even without the need for 4K LED displays. Not that anyone had that in the late 60s. After rigorous testing, they came up with the colour Optic Yellow and decided every ball be coated in that colour from there on in. And there you have it. Tennis balls are yellow, all because Sir David Attenborough wanted to watch Wimbledon from the comfort of his own front room. You could say the ITF aced it.
Good morning, welcome along to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. You can find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. We're building up to talkSPORT Breakfast this morning at 6 o'clock. It's Alan Brazil and his bestie, his brother from another mother, Gabby Agbon Lahore. But here's my blister from another mister, Sam Stevens, with all the details on today's show. Good morning, buddy.
Morning, Shebahn. Yes, the Women's Euros kicked off in Switzerland yesterday. We'll be building up to Wales and England's first games this weekend on talkSPORT. Has the impact of the Lionesses win a few years ago changed the view in your house for this tournament as they look to retain? How excited are you? 03717 22 3344. The British and Irish Lions tore up the Queensland Reds yesterday with a 51-12 victory in Brisbane. Elliot Daly could now... Was it 51-12? 52-12. 52-12. I mistyped it there. Elliot Daly could now be in injury doubt after taking a knock on his arm. We'll hear exclusively from former Lions Jason Robinson and Anthony Watson, who think it'll be a victory series for the Lions. And Emma Raducanu, who's doing bits at Wimbledon. What a great victory yesterday. We'll give you all the details on that and the cricket's latest and everything you need to know in the transfer world as well from the front and back pages.
We will indeed. You're listening to Early Breakfast on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. I am well and truly running on empty.
Are you? Yes. You've had a pretty full-on week, haven't you? You were out last night doing bits.
You need matchsticks to hold the eyes open.
Yeah, you're still hanging out of your thing. Hanging
out my what?
Hanging out of your dress.
Back your cranny.
After an adventure, shall we say, back end of last week, right?
Right. So heading to at the weekend, Marbella. Went to town.
Yes.
Right. Disgraceful. You'd have been proud of me.
Would I?
Disgraceful.
Yeah, it's shambolic behaviour.
A fairly conservative bunch. And I was like, never have I ever.
Right, yeah.
Right, that scumbag on the hen do. That's me.
Right, that was you, was it?
Great fun. Nearly passed out in the plane. Couldn't decide which end it was going to blow from.
Oh, dear me, that's never a good thing, is it?
Airport queue anxiety.
Oh, no.
Sweating my face off.
Oh.
And of all people to be with me, making sure I got on the plane, my mother-in-law.
Oh, sensational.
So she was proud.
Yeah.
She's really proud of me. And anyway, got home, sorted my life out, and then it's been a busy week because it was the Lions yesterday.
Yeah.
Which was brilliant. And then last night I worked at the Obex Foundation along with Jason Robinson's foundation.
Very good.
So that was a wonderful night. I'll tell you more about it a little bit later on.
Please do.
But I got to sit with the Rugby World Cup last night.
Did you?
You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to touch it unless you've won it.
Is that right? The Webb Ellis Trophy.
And they left it sitting next to me. I was like, you should have seen the state of me at the weekend. I wouldn't trust me with that.
Wow.
I was nearly drinking it.
Was it the actual one that was there? Was it? That's amazing.
From Twickenham.
That is amazing.
With the security that comes along with it. So, yeah, an amazing evening. Jason Robinson, I think, is my new favourite person on the planet.
Excellent.
This man is a different level of mindset.
Phenomenal sportsman. I mean, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Cracked both codes, didn't he? Which is absolutely remarkable, really.
And what he came through in his life, Sam.
Right.
He's the person who goes to underprivileged areas to make sure he helps, like, boots on the ground in underprivileged areas, and looks for the kids to make sure that they know you're good enough. You know, because he never had that when he was young.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly,
what a guy. What an inspirational guy.
Oh, he had.
We should get him in at some point. He would be a great guest for talkSPORT.
He would be absolutely brilliant.
Did you tap him up last night?
Absolutely.
Did you say to him, come on, son.
I was doing the evening with him. So, we're on a level now. Do you know he's half class waging?
Is he?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Born in Govan.
Wow, how about that? Chose to play for England, though, didn't he? Hey?
Yeah, chose to play for England. And,
quite right, too.
Yeah, he's Scottish-Jamaican and played for England. But he grew up in England and Leeds.
Excellent.
Anyway, I'll tell you more about Jason Robinson a little bit later on in that fantastic cause that he was raising awareness for last night. What am I doing? Back pages, that's right. Here in Joao, Pedro on a mission to win trophies is the back page of The Sun. Wonderful win from Emma Raducanu. Fabulous work from her. Hailed as one of her best wins as she cruised into Wimbledon's third round. Back page of The Sun. Also, Emma Raducanu giving it the peace sign yesterday at Wimbledon. She was absolutely brilliant. She's got Sabalenka next, hasn't she? The world number one Sabalenka is up next. Bad news for Lions. Now, I covered this game yesterday on talkSPORT 2. Elliot Daly, who we have just been loving so much in this campaign. He's been unbelievable. Blair Kinghorn's coming in, and Elliot Daly has given Blair Kinghorn something to think about. Elliot Daly was actually left on the bench yesterday, but was called up last minute due to Keenan not being feeling very well. But he took a knock on his arm, on his left arm, and it looks like it caused a bit of an issue for him. He's off for a scan now. Touch wood, but we do not need any more injuries. Thinking of him, hopefully he's okay. Emma Raducanu, back page of the Daily Mail. She's electric is the headline. And back to her best is back page of the Times this morning. Let's focus now on the Women's Euros. Got underway yesterday as host Switzerland were defeated by Norway. Switzerland, women's football. Yes, I know what you're thinking. I'll talk about it in just a minute. The Norwegians came from a goal down at half-time to turn it around thanks to Ada Hegerberg and a Sterling own goal. Hegerberg also missed a penalty in a game full of drama. It really was a brilliant watch. It was also live for you here on talkSPORT with former Lioness Tash Dowie and our commentator Joe Shannon.
We're off and running, live on talkSPORT for Euro 2025. It is going to be quite a journey. Here comes Reason for Switzerland, left corner of the penalty area, allowed to raid into the box unchallenged. Galotto tries to poke it forward, and now Reason shoots! Hits the post and in! Switzerland have the lead!
Switzerland, a team full of youth, full of excitement, full of players that want to play for each other, and they've shown that in this first 27 minutes.
Norway seek an equaliser, but Roos is in swinging corner. Goalkeeper doesn't get there, Arne Hegerberg does, and the captain has headed Norway level. Her 50th international goal. Long high ball for Norway, floated down the left-hand side, and Graham Hansen is onto it, pulls it across towards Hegerberg. It's going to be an own goal. It's gone in off Julia Stierli, and Norway have turned it around completely. She's out swinging and fizz to the back post. Hegerberg is up there again. They want handball, and the referee says penalty. It is a penalty to Norway. Hegerberg right-footed against the goalkeeper Livia Peng. Here goes Hegerberg now, and she's rolled it wide. If this is the sort of match that Euro 2025 is going to produce over the next 3.5 weeks, then bring it on. Switzerland 1, Norway 2.
Good game that. By the way, Norway are like the Norway men. You know, Ada Hegerberg is Erling Haaland of the women's team. She's the top goal scorer in the Champions League that's ever walked the planet. She's also won the Ballon d'Or about 4 or 5 years ago now. Ada Hegerberg was the Ballon d'Or winner. But on the main stage, they struggle. Can it be different this time at the European Championships? Gemma Granger, former England player, is the manager this time round as well, so maybe she'll have an effect. Let's talk about Switzerland quickly, because I wasn't here last week when the men, the under 15 boys were all over the papers because they beat Switzerland in a warm-up friendly. They beat them 7-1. And I saw the headline and I went, oh no, oh here we go. What are we getting ourselves into here? And the amount of people, because you know I love women's football, who are like, what are you doing about this now? I'm like, yeah, these under 15 boys are big old boys. I know a number of the players who play for Switzerland said, you know, it's a tough game. It's not what we needed, and it didn't do us any favours, that's for sure. But we crack on. Switzerland, by the way, the women's team, a lot of them aren't fully professional. That's why they need this tournament. As much as maybe England needed the tournament a few years ago, the professional setup here was light years ahead of the way it is in Switzerland. So hopefully they'll see a difference from this tournament being in their country. But getting beat 7-1 by the boys is no great way to start. And terrible press as well. The Federation absolutely balls that one up, that is for sure. Elsewhere in the other game yesterday, Finland defeated Iceland 1-0 thanks to an 8-match winless run in the Euros. Today's game sees Belgium take on Italy 5 o'clock. Also Spain face Portugal at 8 o'clock. Spain, keep your tabs on Aitana Bonmati. Massive news broke at the weekend in the world of women's football that she'd been diagnosed and been in hospital with a form of meningitis, and then I'd seen on Instagram yesterday she's back on the walk bike and back in training with the team, so that's a huge boost for Spain. Portugal 8 o'clock tonight will be a good one to feast your eyes on. And then also we're building up towards the Lionesses campaign to retain the European Championship. They've got France on Saturday. Now, France are considered as one of the contenders to win it. England also in that group with Wales in their first major tournament debut, and also the Netherlands as well, who could be another favourite to win the tournament. So you've got 3 teams in there who are considered to be favourites to go on as finalists, and then Wales, who I think might cause a bit of an upset as well. England, the holders, have been drawn in something of a group of death, as we say, and despite that, Lioness manager Serena Wiegmann, she's full of confidence that the side could win. We've heard from her a number of times in camp. And then we got the news a couple of days ago that forward Chloe Kelly has finally joined Arsenal. She's now an Arsenal player. She was on loan from Man City towards the end of last season from the January window. She's now signed, sealed and delivered an Arsenal player. Speaking about the Euros and looking to retain, of course, she scored the winning goal to win it a few years ago. She sat down with our England correspondent Courtney Sweetman-Kirk and spoke about our big move in the upcoming tournament.
It was a no-brainer. It's such a special club. As soon as I stepped foot in the door, I felt such warmth, and I felt I was learning a lot on the training pitch and progressing in games, and I'm excited to do even more for a special club, and even better that the fans are absolutely incredible. So I had to stay at this special club, and it feels like home to me.
So I spoke to Serena actually after you won the Champions League in a press conference, and I mentioned about the Champions League, winning that, the experience and the vibe basically that it brought to the squad. And I'm just thinking, you know, as this tournament goes on, you know, playing at the highest level domestically, how can that help you, you know, yourself and the Arsenal contingent, and obviously the players like Lucy Bronze that have already won it? How does that help the rest of the squad?
I think for me, and all the girls, there's some girls coming into their first tournament, so definitely experiences in World Cups, Euros, Champions League. There's plenty within our squad, and there's also plenty of girls coming into their first major tournament, which is so exciting for them, with huge futures ahead of them and first of many tournaments. So I think it's really exciting for us all, but every tournament is so different, so different challenges, so we're all very excited to get going, especially now we're in Zurich and ready for the first game.
I love Chloe Kelly. She's an absolute machine, and I'm glad that she's got her move to Arsenal and found her love for football again, when she thought she'd absolutely lost it in Manchester City. Then went and won the Champions League on that loan move with Arsenal, and the things that she's done for England have been absolutely incredible. And I just wondered about that with you listening this morning. Is it different in your house now? You know, don't worry if you still aren't interested in women's football. If you don't want to be, that's absolutely fine. I'm done trying to force anything on you that you aren't interested in. So that's absolutely fine. But do kids in your house see it a bit differently now? I know mine's do. It's interesting because they always sing Beth Mead's on Fire from the Euros a few years ago. That's just how they see it now. That's what they're really into. And I guess it'll be a generational thing, the next generation who are. But I wonder, are you invested in the Euros because of the little ones in your house, or because of the young boys or girls who see the Lionesses as the future and who are just absolutely amazed by everything that they've done? Feel free to pick up the phone and give us a call. 03717 22 33 Let's keep it positive on a Thursday morning. Coming up for you next, of course, is Spain versus Portugal live on talkSPORT 2 tonight, 8 o'clock kickoff in the Women's Euros, and then England's first game is against France. Wales' first game is against the Netherlands. They're both live on Saturday on talkSPORT as well. Coming up for you next, we'll hear from Emma Raducanu after her win at Wimbledon yesterday, and we'll get into today's back page this morning. Hello there, good morning. You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. You can find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. Don't forget, you can now watch us on your smart TV. You can watch the full stream from the studio, at home or in the office or wherever you've got a smart TV. Some people probably have smart TVs in their cars. I don't know, it's the way the world's going. You can also stream us on the YouTube channel as well, and make sure you upload the new talkSPORT app. You know, sometimes when you've got to upgrade your apps, you'll get the new flashy version of the talkSPORT app. Is absolutely fabulous. By the way, I was talking about the women's Euros there. Has it changed in your house? Has the Lionesses had an impact in your house? If so, give us a call. 03717 22 Good morning to Darren. He says, I support England because it's my country. Fair play to you, Darren. Thanks for getting in touch. Also, I don't know if you've seen this on social media. In Switzerland, they've changed the traffic lights. You know, when it's the red man for obviously don't cross the road and the green man for cross the road. They've changed the green man to a girl kicking football. It's so cute. It's the cutest traffic light I've ever seen. Some of your headlines you're waking up to today. England bowlers face another tough task to dismiss India on day 2 of the second test at Edgbaston. Captain Shebahn Aherne will resume on 114 with his team 310 for 5. We have all the updates for you as ever here on talkSPORT with our guru Sam Ellard. In other news, Rangers have signed midfielder Joe Rodwell from Bournemouth on a 3-year deal. He'll reunite with Russell Martin, who he played for, of course, at Southampton. And there was a big win for Emma Raducanu yesterday at Wimbledon. She defeated Marketa Vondrousova to advance to the last 32. She'll play the world number 1, Aryna Sabalenka. That's tomorrow. After her statement victory, she said she's found her confidence again.
I just was very low on confidence, and as a player I guess you go through those dips in a season where you're feeling lacking a little bit, but I back myself a lot more compared to earlier on in the year, and I think having the direction over the last few months built over consistency really helped.
Go on, Emma. You got this gal into the next round. My God, if she can beat Aryna Sabalenka, that would be an absolute upset for the cards. I would love to see that, even though I do love Sabalenka. Another news, Sonny Cartal joins her in the next stage of the women's draw, while Cameron Norrie progressed in the men's singles after eliminating the 12th seed Francis Tiafoe. Katie Bolter qualifier, Ollie Tarvett and Billy Harris all went out. Tarvett was defeated in straight sets by holder Carlos Alcaraz. For what we can expect on day 4 at the All England Club, here's talkSPORT's very own Amelia Beltrau.
Day 4 of Wimbledon will see world number 4 Jack Draper take on Croatia's Marin Cilic, a former finalist at this tournament, while former British number 1 Dan Evans will play none other than Novak Djokovic in the opening game on centre court. And local lad Jack Pennington-Jones will also be in action. They'll be hoping to join Cameron Norrie and Emma Raducanu in the 3rd round, as well as Sonny Cartel. British wildcard Ollie Tarvett didn't find such luck against Carlos Alcaraz, but credit to him, the 21-year-old managed to cause the reigning champion a little bit of stress, despite being the lowest ranked player in the men's singles draw.
By the way, you can jump onto the talkSPORT app or onto our TikTok. Amelia Beltrau outside Wimbledon yesterday getting people to grunt. They'd make me laugh. It's the little things in life that really give me a giggle. Sam, give us your best Wimbledon grunt. Oh, hello.
Quite good, isn't it? That's quite good too.
So weird.
The grunting is quite a strange thing, isn't it?
I guess they got to do it. Sometimes it gets a bit out of control, though. Have you seen that YouTube clip where they start to like read off each other and they start to have a bit of a laugh about it and they all grunt? I can't remember the players.
Oh, really?
But it is funny.
A grunt off.
It was a grunt off more than a tennis match.
Really? Some of those grunts have got registered quite high on the sort of the gruntometer, haven't they?
Gruntometer. We should get yours on that. Today's back pages, what's happening?
Yes, we have lots of Emma Raducanu after her great victory yesterday. It's lovely to see her smiling again because she feels like she's been a bit of a tortured soul over the last couple of years, hasn't she? So great to see. It'll be a massive test for her against the world number 1 next time out, but wonderful win, Emma, or wonderful, after beating Vondrousova. So she's all over the back pages. Also, so is Tyson Fury. It looks like he may well be returning to boxing. We'll get a bit more on that later on as well. After, how many retirements now? He's retiring endlessly and coming back, it seems. But we shall see about that. Here and João, back page of The Sun. João Pedro on a mission to win trophies at Chelsea, it seems. We haven't really discussed that move very much. Shebahn, do you like it? Do you like João Pedro to Chelsea?
I like Chelsea's current ongoing business. I mean, they've been good at the Club World Cup. I like the look of Delap. I think he's fitting in nicely. He's been impressive, especially to kind of our pundits and experts who we hear a lot from here on talkSPORT. I know that they're really liking the look of him. So I think next season, considering I think, Sam, we did say maybe last season that, Chelsea in a few seasons will start to challenge. So I'm wondering if they're going to be closer to that. Because it weren't the worst season, after all. I actually thought it was a not bad season for Chelsea, considering they do have quite a young squad. João Pedro, I think, is a smart player. I think he's a very good player. And I think Liam Delap is a good player as well. So I don't know if it's going to be a title challenge next season, but I certainly think they'll still be there and thereabouts.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, with Chelsea, because you can see you kind of get the sense of what they're trying to do. I mean, there is still a bit of a lack of experience, and you feel like there's a couple of positions that they could do with strengthening if they're really going to challenge. But they're definitely making the right progress, and it's interesting to see what Todd Bowley and Clear Lake's sort of vision is for when they would like to really step up a title challenge. I think the difficulty they've got at the moment is there are 2, probably 3 teams that are definitely better than them.
Yeah.
So whether or not they can close that gap this season remains to be seen. But
that's the thing. I don't know if João Pedro and I don't know if Liam Delap are the players that are going to make you win the title.
Exactly that.
But they're certainly building towards that.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like they're doing. So
more structured.
Yeah, I can't turn my nose up to that.
Now, we should talk about this because I think this is a very interesting story. What's next on United's striker list? Man United are stepping up their interest in Aston Villa and England striker Ollie Watkins. This is all over a lot of the papers this morning. Old Trafford, back page of the Star. As I said, what's next is the story on the back page of the Mirror, and also on one of the other papers as well. There was a headline about Ollie Watkins. So I think this is interesting, isn't it? United, it looks like we're linked with Gyökeres. It's all gone very quiet there with his sporting connections and Ruben Amorim. United linked with a host of other strikers. Hugo Ekitike was another name that you heard linked this summer. But Ollie Watkins, 29, proven in the Premier League. Arsenal looked like they might have wanted him back end of last season. Not necessarily sure he's flavour of the month at Aston Villa. I don't know whether there's a disconnect between him and Unai Emery, or whether there's just, something not quite seems to fit there. And also Villa, I know they just sold their women's team, but they seem to need to maybe generate some money for PSR.
What's the money for Ollie?
Glad you asked me that because I can't find it anywhere in the story.
Right.
Excellent work. I'll have a quick look while you do that. But it's but the idea of United and Ollie Watkins, for me, even though he's 29, and I suppose you ideally want to sign players who have kind of got their best years to come, when United need proven goal scorers in the Premier League, I think it would be a good move for United.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you on that.
60 million.
60 million.
That's a lot for a 29-year-old, I think.
And what he's got is the Premier League experience. He's a great player. I don't know. I didn't see this one coming.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the Arsenal move for Ollie Watkins last year. I thought that was going to happen, kind of thing, and it wasn't to be. I like it. To be fair, I like it because he has got Premier League experience, and that's what Ruben Amorim seems to be going for this time round, as players who can do it in the Premier League in their positions. Yeah,
and that would be a clear evidence of that again, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And Burmo looks, I mean, I don't know why that's gone flat, but it looks like it to happen. Cunha coming in as well. I mean, a revamped front three of Watkins, Cunha and Burmo looks quite exciting, doesn't it, for next season? Potentially. There's a lot of ifs, buts and maybes there.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. Curious to know what Gabby Agbonlahor thinks about that. You can hear it 10 o'clock this morning, 6 o'clock this morning till 10 o'clock this morning on talkSPORT Breakfast.
No doubt he'd say it was a step down, because at the moment the place that both clubs are in, it would be a step down in theoretical terms. But
it would be.
Not for size of club.
But it's Manchester United.
Exactly that.
You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll look back on the British and Irish Lions win down under yesterday in the warm-up game against the Queensland Reds. And you'll hear from the legend himself, former World Cup winner and former Lion, Jason Robinson.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried
Good morning, welcome to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux, the cover you need at a price you'll love with What's Fans Insurer of the Year 2021. You can find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. Good morning to Sammy, who's been in touch today on the phone lines. Looking forward to watching every game from the Women's Euros and listening as ever here on talkSPORT. Good morning to Sammy, sending his lovely messages today. Thank you very much for getting in touch. Some of your headlines waking up to this morning: Tyson Fury will come out of retirement next year. According to Saudi boxing supreme Turki Al Sheikh, the British heavyweight walked away from the sport for the second time in January. Was it the second time? I swear it was like the fourth. It came after losing his rematch against Alexander Usyk. Al Sheikh says he has Fury's word that he'll return to the fight in Riyadh. Keeping tabs on that. All of our thoughts on the talkSPORT Boxing and the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. Brighton have completed the signing of defender Olivier Boskely from Dutch champions at PSV Eindhoven. The Frenchman has signed a 5-year contract. Well, it was announced yesterday that the Seagulls have completed the sale of striker João Pedro to Chelsea for £60 million. And the British and Irish Lions scored 8 tries as they eased to a 52-12 win over the Queensland Reds in Brizzy yesterday. There's another injury scare though, not good news. Ahead of the Test series with Australia, Elliot Daly went off injured in some pain. He was holding his left arm. It took a bit of a knock there, and he ended up leaving the pitch with the arm kind of swinging down by his side. The Lions have 3 more warm-up matches, the next against the Waratahs on Saturday. That's going to be live for you over on talkSPORT 2. But here's the best of the action from what we heard at Down Under yesterday.
Here we go then, one of the iconic venues, one of the iconic games, and the Queensland Reds kickers off. Bundyaki, Finn Russell sent it to the right-hand side. Elliot Daly finds Tommy Freeman for the right corner. He will score the try. First of the evening for the British and Irish Lions. Going to be dropped onto the toe by Kalani Thomas, and it's going to bounce up, and Dua van der Merwe waited for it to bounce. Josh Fluke didn't. Reds 12, British and Irish Lions 7. Andrew Porter will pick and go. Now he's up and over the line, and that try is scored. 29 on the watch, and it is Andrew Porter, the loose head prop, who gets the scores level. Park will whip it away to the left-hand side. Chesham, good hands by Conan, gives it to Van der Merwe, who scores in the left corner. Well, he's having the very definition of a mixed evening, but what you have to do is when you get a chance to get over the whitewashing score, you've got to take it. 8 metres out from the try line. Jamieson gets the puck, picks, goes around the edge, gives to Maro Itoje, who gets over the line. Lions have their 4th try of the evening, quickly away by Mitchell once again. Morgan through and will score. Ball is available. Mitchell comes to the left. Freeman wriggles out, and the right winger out on the left-hand side scores again. Reds have tried to chip it over the top, but Hugh Jones is too tall for that. He's stolen the ball out the air. He crosses the 22. He's going for the right-hand corner and will score. Reds 12, Lions 47. Ball over the top, out to the right-hand side, and Gary Ringrose will score in the corner. Simple as that in the end. 1-2, bish, bosh, over the top, in it goes. So it is an 8-try performance from the British and Irish Lions. They run up 52 points to win by a margin of 40 against the Queensland Reds. We thought they might win. We probably weren't expecting them to be this dominant. The Reds didn't score a point after the 26th minute. Queensland Reds 12, British and Irish Lions 52.
Yeah, they were excellent yesterday. I was watching that game with Ben Kay and Andrew McKenna. We're doing the next one on Saturday for you on talkSPORT 2 against the Waratahs. And that stadium they were at yesterday, the Suncorp in Brisbane, 52,500 capacity, is where the first test is going to take place on the 19th of July. So they've had a good go of it there. And they were very, very good. The slow restarts is still a bit of an issue. You may feel that when you're watching the game as well. And also just kind of making sure they click early doors. But as the game went on yesterday, they really came into it. The second half, Maritoje was absolutely outstanding and they just absolutely ran away with it. Ollie Chessum was brilliant, a good solid player. Freeman was brilliant as well. Really, really good performances. I would say leaving Andy Farrell with a decent headache to have. Elliot Daly, that's the bad news, because we knew going into this game that there's that injury risk, isn't there? They've lost a number of players now. Elliot Daly played because it was Hugo Keenan who ended up being unwell. So Elliot Daly came back in as a last minute change. Just about an hour before kick-off, there was that change. And anyway, during the game, he took a knock from one of the players and his left arm seemed to be causing him a bit of a nightmare. It's in the papers today that he's gone for a scan in Brisbane. Fingers crossed he is okay. Just on the subject, by the way, of the British and Irish Lions, I spent last night with Jason Robinson, the former England Rugby World Cup winner and former Lion himself. This was for this brilliant event which raises money for underprivileged children in the most poverty-stricken areas. It's the Obex Foundation raising funds for their Sardinia bike ride in association with the Jason Robinson Foundation, which just does the most wonderful things for kids who need it most. And Jason isn't your usual person who raises money for those less fortunate than himself. He goes above and beyond. He goes into the communities himself, playing rugby, having conversations with kids who need that support and who need that figure in their life. That's something he didn't have growing up. He never met his dad until he was 36 years old. Yesterday he was out playing rugby with kids from Luton, making sure that those kids knew that they had somebody to look at who would say to them, well done you, you're really good at this. They look to get kids boots, they look to do sessions with them, they look to give them food, they look to have conversations with them, and he's doing all of this because he had none of that himself in his childhood. It's a really incredible story, everything that Jason Robinson went through. A broken home, poverty, abuse, 8 years old, calling the police for them to come and help his mum, who was in trouble with a bully. That's what Jason Robinson's life was, and he believes that made him the player that he was. Absolutely iconic, one of the most incredible sports people we've ever seen come out of this country, especially to do it in two sports as well and to be as good as he was. And he thoroughly believes that the reason that he is as good as he was is because he came from an area that had to really harden him up and toughen him up. And now he says he goes into these areas to see these children to make sure they know you can be good enough as well. And if they can get that opportunity, they can do whatever he wants. So he told us why the foundation and why what he does is so important to him than anything else that he's ever done.
You only learn the lessons when you've gone through the challenges, because I suppose we'd all like an easier way in life, but actually the easier way, you don't build a character, you don't get the resilience, you don't meet certain people, and now you see some of the most successful people in the world in sport and business are actually the ones that started in a garage or didn't go to private school. So again, for those, the thing for me is everybody should have an opportunity, and with rugby there is a sort of lot of a privilege. There's schools that do really well and have the best coaches and the best facilities, but there's also, we go into the schools where they have very little and they have some of the most challenging situations, kids in horrendous situations, but there's gold there. There's so much talent. You just think, if we can harness that, we can keep going in there, inspiring them, helping them, giving them a pair of boots, giving them a pair of trainers, then that's all you can ask. It's not to say that everybody, everywhere we go, they're going to be the next Jason Robinson, Johnny Wilkinson or football or whatever, but at least give them the opportunity to fulfil their potential.
Oh, honestly, I could have sat and talked to him all. We could still be talking right now. He was an incredible spokesperson and not a dry eye in the house when he was telling his story. So good luck to Jason, the Jason Robinson Foundation and the Obex Foundation, and everything that they're doing for underprivileged kids. It was an absolute honour to be with them all last night. So while I had him, I couldn't help but ask him about the British and Irish Lions. He was full of praise for the side and spoke about what the tournament means to him.
I'm sure now the Lions are just going to slowly build, get to the Test match. I played Australia in Rugby League, Rugby Union, some of the toughest competitors, but I'm just hoping that the Lions win and win. Well, not win comfortably, but I would like to see the Lions win sort of 3-0 in the series. But you know, when you are the underdog, especially Australia, you know, they are a proud nation. They are good at what they do. So it won't go all the Lions' way, but I hope Marrow and the boys do what they need to do. And listen, I'm out there as a Howden ambassador, so I've got the nice side, because all I'm going to do is be in corporate. I'm in prawn sandwiches and champagne. So I did come from the ghetto, but I do like champagne and prawn sandwiches.
Jason Robinson there, Lion himself and former England World Cup winner. I was actually saying to Sam earlier on, I got to sit with the trophy last night, the World Cup trophy that nobody is allowed to touch unless you've won it. And they left it in my company last night, which was very, very trusting of them. So thank you very much. Also there was Anthony Watson, former England and Leicester fullback. He has a testimonial coming up later this year at the Royal Lancaster alongside Jonathan Josephs. He had to retire earlier this year due to injury, which broke his heart. He said, I had to ask him if it's tough to watch the Lions considering he's been there so recently in the past.
I've had FOMO twice since I retired. Once was England-Wales in Wales, because I love playing in that stadium, and then the second time was watching the Lions squad get announced. So yeah, definitely got FOMO. I think especially after 4 years ago, it being behind closed doors and no fans, it's just such a special campaign, and I am very jealous of the lads being able to do it, because it's just unreal.
Are you in touch with the lads, and can you think that they can win it?
Oh, I think it's going to be 3-0. I'll put my hat on it, even after some negativity around some of the performances so far. They've got so much time, but yeah, I'm so excited for the series, and I do think that the Lions will do it 3-0.
Love that. Anthony Watson there and Jason Robinson, both at the Jason Robinson Foundation and the Obex Foundation, raising money for underprivileged kids as always. What a brilliant bunch of people. To Sab, Chrissy, Kelly, Cara, and Jason and Anthony, thank you very much, and keep doing the great work that you're doing. Okay, time now for the front page nonsense with Samuel.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move!
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast. talkSPORT.
Give me a tennis grunt then.
Another one.
Wow.
I'm quite good at the tennis grunting. I'm not good at tennis.
About to yak.
To be fair, yeah. Familiar noises in my household. Now, Southampton has been named England's binge drinking capital.
Is it now?
The South Coast city was followed by South Tyneside and Blackpool for shocking stats, I'm afraid, on binge drinking. I can vouch for this because I went to uni in Southampton.
Did you?
I did, yeah. I did. I went to the other one.
Is this where you learned not how to drink?
That is absolutely correct, yeah.
Sam's two-can Dan, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
Like 2 beers and he's
One
like,
can Sam.
I'm a bit... Need a lie down.
It's true.
Is it me? Is it hot in here? But no, Sam, it's not hot.
No. You experienced my lack of drinking prowess, haven't you?
Can you tell everyone about what happened on your trip with Ali McCoist?
Oh, blimey, Ronnie, that was a shocker.
This is the guy from Southampton who studied at Southampton.
Yeah, although not the good one, just to be clear. Yeah, so we were out in Switzerland with Gabby Agbonlahor, and Ali was assigned to do the breakfast show the following morning with Gabby from my room. Right, from my bedroom. So the night before, we had gone on quite a nice dinner date with Ali, Gabby, a few others, a few people, sort of a bit of schmoozing, a bit of dinner, Italian restaurant. Old Adil Ray was there as well. It was a very nice dinner. But unfortunately, Ali didn't go easy on the order of the wine. So it was sort of being topped up every now and again, a few glasses, a few bottles later. All of a sudden you get home, you sort of think so. I feel all right, but a little bit rough, if I'm honest. And I know I've got to get up for the breakfast show in the morning. Anyway, turns out, got up, fine, no problem at all. But I thought, oh my word, I feel absolutely dreadful. I feel dreadful. I've got to get through this 4-hour show. I don't know how I'm going to manage it. Anyway, we somehow managed to make it work with me perched on the end of the bed, trying to avoid movement of any kind.
Sounds like you're making a dodgy movie.
Doesn't it?
But you're just broadcasting. This is how we do it on talkSPORT.
This is the glamour of live broadcasting on OBs, right? So, outside broadcast. So, anyway, Ali got through the show fine. He was an absolute Trojan. Of course he was, because he always is. Got through the show. It literally, the second... Put his headset down. The show... We broke at 9:57 for the end of the breakfast show. He left my room. Thanks very much, Sam. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, see you again. Left my room. I immediately ran to the bathroom to be sick. Immediately. Like, it couldn't have been any quicker. As if my body was like, you've got to get through this, be professional, and then I'm going to give up on you. Instantly.
No.
It was horrific. It was horrific. And I can't remember the last time I did that. Probably uni, to be fair.
Do you think he heard you?
There's every chance he was still, meandering down the corridor while he was hearing
Sam
grotesque
right.
grunting sounds coming from behind him.
And then he took you from the hair of the dog.
Yes.
Back out on
Back
it again.
out again. There we go.
That's
Again.
right, Ali. We love the big man.
Absolutely sensational. Anyway, well done to Southampton for actually that's nothing
Good
to
for
be
you,
proud of.
Southampton.
Nothing to be proud of at all.
Yeah.
Now, rackets drive us bonkers. Banging noises from neighbours and yapping dogs are among the irritating sounds that send our stress levels soaring. Drilling, loud chewing, and buzzing flies are also on the list.
Yeah.
This is going to annoy you this morning, Ships. I can tell.
Yeah.
You're already on edge slightly because of a busy night.
The chompers. Yeah. I'm like, ooh. Even my daughter, I'm like, Reva, stop.
I think out of all these, don't get me wrong, a fly is irritating, isn't it? A small dog yapping's annoying, especially if it goes on for a while.
Yeah, my dog.
But loud chewing, I agree with you, is the absolute unacceptable worst.
But it means we've got something wrong with us, doesn't it? We've got an actual thing that means we can't handle it.
It's called misophonia.
Well,
the sound of strange things.
Welcome to Misophonia FM this morning, people. It is the most annoying thing that you can do in my company.
Yes.
I feel like I could take this fist and ram it into your schnoz. You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll build up to the Lionesses' first game as they look to retain the European Championship. Good morning.
He plays that villain role very well now. That's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
People, good morning. You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Get ready for the big breakfast show of the week. Alan Brazil and Gabby Agbonlahor are on the way for you at 6 o'clock this morning with some brilliant guests. I'll tell you about them very, very soon. And you know this, the wait is finally over for the reunion of the century. By the way, speaking of reunion of the centuries, apparently the Spice Girls have got something coming out. I'm looking through the glass at people who are totally vacant right now. But apparently the Spice Girls are getting back together and have a tour or something, because there's a t-shirt going around. Anyway, probably shouldn't have ad-libbed that, because we don't have tickets to that. We do have tickets to the biggest reunion of the century, Oasis. We can get you into the gig in Manchester on the 19th of July here at talkSPORT. We'll send you there. We'll put you in a lovely hotel overnight, and some lovely cash to play with as well. £5,000, completely tax-free. This is right up your Straza. It's got to be for everything you need to know to enter. Here you go.
Alright, kids, you have to be over 18 to enter in the UK, excluding Northern Ireland, for the chance to win a pair of tickets to the most electrifying rock and roll reunion of the century, a hotel stay and £5,000 spending money. Text the word Oasis to 83338 by Monday the 7th of July at 11 p.m, and you'll be entered into the draw to go supersonic this summer. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or post your name and number to Oasis Prize Draw, PO Box 3190, Colchester, CO2 8GP, to arrive by 5 p.m. on the 10th of July.
This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. Good luck, yeah? Sorted.
Good luck with that. All the best to you. That'll be a brilliant night, I have to say. Okay, this summer has been epic when it comes to sport. You know that way in the Premier League and the Championship and all the football finishes, wherever you watch your football or whatever league it's for, kind of wraps up for the summer. It's like, okay, what we've got to look forward to, and it's just not stopped. The Club World Cup, we've been all over. The British and Irish Lions, the Test cricket. There's been so much to get our teeth into, and the Women's Euros as well. And the Lionesses look to retain the trophy as they play France this Saturday. We've got it live as ever here on talkSPORT.
The Lioness fairy tale has its perfect ending, and let that magic soak your spine.
Totally cherish these moments. You'll never ever forget these moments.
I think this squad excites me because potentially of what it could achieve.
Our life changed, and we have to adapt to that too.
It's going to be a bit more difficult because they've obviously lost 3 experienced players in Millie Bright, Frank Kirby and Mary Earps.
There's a lot of different personalities within this squad. I think we've got a lot more youth than I've had in previous squads that I've been in.
We think they're the best players in the country and they can contribute to the team performances.
Russo in the area, Russo to finish it!
There's 4 teams that potentially could win it for me: Germany, England, Spain and France.
We all are aware that our group is really, really tough with incredible teams in it.
We've always had a very strong unit at England, and I think it's fair to say that that's probably why our output has been successful over the last couple of years.
We want to go out there and put on a performance. We want to go out there and enjoy ourselves, and make sure everyone at home is proud of us, and that we keep inspiring everyone as well. Every tournament is so different challenges, so we're all very excited to get going, especially now we're in Zurich and ready for the first game.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm really, really looking forward to this, to England's first game against France on talkSPORT this Saturday. So the under-21s have just gone and retained the European Championship. Will the Lionesses be able to do the same? The England squad, as we know, does have a number of notable absentees. Former Lioness Jordan Nobbs told talkSPORT that it could have an effect on the side.
Them experienced players you just can't take for granted. Whether that's the team bonding on and off the pitch or their experience coming on. I think Mary's obviously the main one. I think if you don't have a second goalkeeper that's got that experience, it's a huge loss. And Frank Kirby was a bit of a surprise one for me because she does score goals, and tournaments are kind of always Frank Kirby's thing. She plays in tournaments, she scores goals, and she does really well for the Lionesses. So Ella Toon hopefully can kind of slot into that role. You've seen her score goals, but it's key players. It's key players for the Lionesses. But they've just beaten Jamaica 7-0, which they should be beating a team like that. But I think they will be missing them big players.
You will be. I mean, and that's the thing about this England squad this time around. There's so many players who are no longer there, who won the Euros 3 years ago, like big characters like Jill Scott, like Ellen White, like Rachel Daly, who was a player who could play up front as well as in the back line as well. There's so many talented players in that England squad just now, a bit more youth in the side. I'm really curious to see how it goes. For me, I believe the Lionesses can retain. I think they're good enough to go and win it again. As we say, they've got France in their group, the Netherlands in their group, who, by the way, are outstanding. You'll have heard of probably Vivianne Miedema, who's she won the Euros with Serena Wiegmann, funnily enough, before the Lionesses won the Euros. A number of stars in that team as well. So for me, I think the Netherlands could do a job. France are favourites, as are England. And look out for Wales. Get behind the Wales team as well. This is their first time on the major stage. You look at some players in that team like Jess Fishlock, who have been kind of commanding the way and leading the path for women's football for so many years in her country and also here in the UK as well. She's been in the States. She's such an amazing player. So to see her captain the side, Wales' first tournament, is absolutely brilliant. We've got the games all live for you here on talkSPORT. Coming up for you on talkSPORT Breakfast today, it's Alan Brazil and Gabby Agbonlahor. They've got McLaren F1 CEO Zach Brown is going to be here in the studio, the Wallabies legend. Matt Giteau will also be on the show as well. Cricket commentator David Bumble Lloyd. And we'll get Gabby's thoughts after tennis player Dan Evans said this about his paddle abilities yesterday.
If Gabby can't beat Simon Jordan at paddle, he's definitely not beating me at paddle. I actually messaged him yesterday and he was watching my match and I asked him, do you still think you've got us at paddle? Yeah, Gabby's, as he'd say, is miles off it. He really is.
We need to see that. We do need to see that. That's a really good idea. Dan Evans with the guys a little bit later on. You've been listening to Early Breakfast on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. Find out more, adrianflux.co.uk. Breakfast on the way next. Enjoy.